Hey, I'm Mark. I'm your host for Meet the Members of the National Ski Patrol, and like we always say, all season long. Hey, we're winding down the season here. They're trying to tell me it's springtime, but I rode up here to Wisp Resort, and we've been here before a couple years ago, and let me just tell you that it was 76 degrees at my house in Frederick, Maryland. Last night I left my house this morning, it was 63 degrees. 2.5 hours up the road, it's snowing and 33 degrees. Again, they're telling me it's springtime, but you know, today's the last day of the ski season here at Wisp Resort up here in Deep Creek Lake near Oakland, Maryland. But it's kind of a unique last day for 4 folks here, 4 ski patrollers who are skiing their age today. In other words, if you're 78 years old, like Jim is, this is his 78th day on snow. And Pam is 32 years old. She's the young one of the group. And guess what day she's skiing today? 32 days. So kind of a unique experience we got here. And Bill, the legend, the certified legend, he's 72 here, so 72 years old. And we're just going to chat up with these guys today and find out, you know, what it's going to be like skiing your age on the last day of the season. And Jim, yeah. 72, right? 63. It was one of them 70 and 63s. So guys, it's kind of bittersweet here, the last day of the season, but it's kind of a monumental day for all you guys. And are we going to have like a birthday party or anything at the end with candles and all that stuff?
I'm sure there'll be beer at the pizza on Steve's account.
And Jim Fair, just tell me, you know, this is day number 63. And you've been around Wisp a while. You've been 18 years here, and you were 10 years as a pro, and they say that's another 2 years added on to your seniority. Is that right?
Yeah, at least 2 years. I get in a number of days here. I think this is day 63, actually, because he's been counting his days for some time. Thursday night, I got back from the West on Tuesday morning and looked at my calendar and realized I needed 3 days to ski my age after Jim Beatty, our genetic mutant. So I went ahead and figured I'd get 3 more days in and ski my number of days and years of my life.
So was this a competition? Was this who could get the most days in? Jim, you started it?
It wasn't a competition. I just came up with the idea for myself. I'd like to try to ski my age and days, and these guys kind of picked up on it, so there they are.
So what's going to happen? Are you guys going to do like a Chinese downhill or something like that at 4 o'clock when you guys close, or what's going on with that?
Too old to do that.
Too old. You told me you were going to ski 2 or 3 runs and call it a day.
That's enough days in this year.
Well, how many runs means that 1 day of skiing for you? 1?
Depends on how cold it is.
Oh, jeez.
If it's 8 above and 15 below, maybe 3, maybe 4, and that's about it.
Well, it's not bitter cold out here today. It's a little chilly, but it's colder than what 40 degrees colder than it was yesterday at this time, I guess. And Jim, talk about your experience. I mean, you're the man up here, from what I hear.
In what way am I the man?
Everything. You own the world. You're this senior patroller out here. You ski more days than anybody on the mountain.
Currently, I am probably the oldest person on the mountain. My experience here has been good. I've done a lot of skiing here. I've done a lot of training here. I've met a lot of cliche thing, good people throughout the whole experience. And I have been to a lot of different areas, skiing, videoing, training, clinics, one thing or another. So.
And Pam, 32 years old. I know you're the youngster of the group here. Just talk about you're now a senior. Is that right? Half senior. Well, you're getting there, right? You're halfway to 60, but you're a half senior, right?
Correct. I'm halfway.
Just talk about how much fun you've been having this year and what is 32, because you told me 32 days was a goal.
32. Well, it's nowhere near as impressive as these guys getting their days in, that's for sure. I wish I could ski every day.
I think these guys do, right?
They do. They're up here in all temperatures, all weather, rain, it doesn't matter. They're up here skiing, and that's an incredible amount of dedication.
So, and you guys are not even, Pam's on shift day, and you guys are just coming in to make a day of it. What is it about the Wisp Resort that keeps you guys coming back day after day after day, year after year?
Steve Cabe.
Steve behind the camera there. How about that? Is there a bonus in his check this week?
No, I'm not a paid patroller. This is the camaraderie that we have amongst us, and the fact that we want to help the injured person on the hill, and that's our primary goal. But we want to have fun too, and we have fun as a ski patrol group. We got and ski together. Some of them party together. Some of them come in hungover together. So it's a whole group. I mean, it's a group thing, and we love each other.
And from what I understand, some people come back after a shift and hike up closed Main Street together.
Yes.
I don't know why you would do that. That doesn't sound fun to me, but I guess it was.
Awesome. It was, yeah, you don't appreciate the scenery until you're actually hiking up it. And there's features that I didn't even know existed.
Now, you told me there was a rock over there you didn't know existed. How do you miss a rock?
I guess I just don't pay attention to what's in the woods when I'm skiing down. But we shared it with some locals. There were some deer out.
Well, it is spring, and one of you guys mentioned earlier that, did you see any bear up there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet. I think it's still hibernating, but we do have a bear.
So, Jim, Wounded Warrior Jim, what's up with the Wounded Warrior Patrol? Tell me about that and your experiences over at Seven Springs working with those guys.
All right, Wounded Warrior is a program that was set up by a group of patrollers from Round Top Mountain. Initially, it was
My boy Ed Hirschman. Did he get that started?
Ed Hirschman. Yeah, I met him. I saw him a couple years. But the captain, and I'm having a lapse of memory here. But anyhow, it was all started by one person. Then they got together as a group. They are all patrollers from that area. They bring in families of wounded warriors, not just the warrior themselves. If there's 5 or 10 people in that family, that 5 or 10 people will be there for the whole 5-6 day event. They get to learn how to ski, they learn how to board, they can go up on the top of the mountain, shoot a little bit of skeet, they can take part of the tubing park. Everything they get is theirs. They pay for nothing.
Well, that's a really good service, and it not only builds camaraderie with the patrollers, it's goodwill to the wounded warriors and the service they put in to protect the country, and the families get to participate as well, which is not often the case in programs like that.
True. Some of the experiences I've had up there, the first time, if you remember the movie Black Hawk Down, the pilot that was rescued from that was the guest speaker at that time.
Oh, wow.
And he really had a good story to tell. And since then we've had different people, I don't think quite to the level of that person, but we've had good people speaking. Cool. Some of the other things, we had a guy up there who I know he weighed probably about 300 pounds, minus his legs.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted to go down the mountain, so they took him up on a sled and brought him down 5, 6, 7 times, and he just had the biggest time of his life.
When they have the smile on their face, that's pay enough right there. And Jim Ferrant, you've been here for 18 years, but you were on the paid patrol for 10 years, so you got maybe a little bit different perspective because you were out here in the morning during the week and doing all that. Just talk about your time as a paid patroller.
Yeah, so what I really like the most is I've opened and closed for most of 10 years on the weekend, usually Sunday, Monday, and getting on the snowmobile by yourself at 7 a.m., checking with the mountain ops to find out if anything's new, opening the trails, putting out the signage, checking for safety devices, kind of sets the work for the day in terms of where we might need to boo. Some of the fringe benefits, which I've never told our patrol director, are that...
he's getting an earful now, though, isn't he? You're not fired.
Is that, I'll put a closed sign on a trail that you can't snowmobile, a.k.a. the face. And I have to personally check that run out before I'm willing to say everything's good and flip it over to open. So on a powder day, that's a pretty good benefit, fringe benefit. So occasionally I'll get 2 or 3 runs in because I'll tell my man Brian over at Chair 2-3 that I need to check the ramps and I need to be sure everything's safe. So I get a couple extra freebies in there before anyone gets on the hill.
Well, everyone loves the first tracks, and it is a different perspective when you're a paid guy, and you got to look at it maybe a different perspective. But most of the patrols that I've talked to and dealt with over my years, whether you're paid or whether you're a volunteer, you're a ski patroller. And that's kind of what the message we like to put out there. But we have a unique, Mr. Bill is a certified level patroller and just got back from J Peak last week where he had, some people say 16 inches, some people say 20 inches, but it was a ton of snow, and it was right around the first weekend of spring, and you had a good time out there.
12 to 22 inches of snow depending on where you were on the mountain, but 60-mile-an-hour gusts of wind, so they couldn't run the tram. Great experience. I mean, I still help examine, but just getting together with those guys I only see once a year, and ladies, it's a great experience.
I'm sure there's some fun stories that get embellished over the years.
That's very true. Yes, that's very, very true. But this is the highest level of patrol work that you can get to. It's a lot different than any of the local level patrollers or senior level that goes through. It's just unbelievable what we deal with.
And we like to shake your guys' hand too, because you go out there and you take it to the next level, and it's always good to have that expertise and knowledge out there when you can call on you guys. You guys are spread out all over the country at all different mountains. You're not just one unit patrol.
That's correct. And every time I go to one of these tests, which I've only missed one in 30 plus years, I guess it is, I always bring something back. I always learn something. I brought something back about chairlift evac this year. I mean, it's just really interesting what different areas do and how they perform and what they're using.
Hey, John Kane, if you're watching out there, which I know you are, you got to take care of my guy Bill. Next year, we'll be at Sugarloaf up in Maine next year, if I understand.
That's my understanding. We're going to Sugarloaf, which is a heck of a trip from here, probably about 14 hours maybe. But I'll be there. I hope to be there. Good Lord willing, the river don't rise, I'll be there.
But the lifts will be running at Sugarloaf. It'll be colder, but the lifts will be running.
Well, yeah, I hope the lifts are going to be running. I mean, Sugarloaf has the only above tree line skiing on the East Coast as far as I know.
Okay, me and you skiing Highline next year. Is that a deal?
Possibility.
Okay, I got that. And Pam, you're working on your senior. You're about halfway there. And the 32 days this year probably helped get you to at least halfway there. So you're looking for the another half next year?
Yes. So unfortunately, I didn't pass the OET this year, but now I know what to expect next year. So. Well,
you have Bill here. He should get you in.
My group for the OEC for the seniors. So there were 3 of them from here, which they went through, and I was their advocate when we went through that.
So what's it going to take to become a senior for you for next year? Another 32 days on snow?
Or more.
Or 33, because you're 33.
33, and just keep practicing. More mileage. Just more mileage and bumps. That's what I need the most.
The good thing about that, you're out skiing, so you're having fun while you're working on your senior. And the other good thing is you're just becoming a more experienced patroller.
Exactly.
So
You can ask these guys how my snowboarding has changed in the last 5 years.
A lot.
So I don't know about you guys, but I think we should wrap this up. And folks out there, they're watching that. A few weeks ago we did a show on what it takes to be a member of the National Ski Patrol. We went through the tryout at Whitetail with 40 patrollers, and you got to see what it takes to take day 1. Well, these guys have been on day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and day 78 and day 63 and 72 and 32. So it's a big birthday party out here today. We got to do something, guys. We got to do something for your last run on the last day of the season. What can we have a Chinese down? Can we have a Chinese down there, Steve? Yeah, he said that.
With sleds. We
With
need to pull a
sleds?
couple sleds
Yeah.
down the hill.
Well, it is the last day, so we're going to have to bring sleds off the hill, right? We're going to have to bring equipment down, so I think everyone ought to carry something down for the last day.
Steve's truck and see how fast he can get down.
I think we should do it in a V formation.
Oh, there you go, in a V form, the flying wedge. How about that?
One more patrol, we'll put Steve in the center.
There you go, yeah.
He's back there behind the camera just smiling, hadn't said a word yet, right? Well, guys, again, we're wrapping up the season here at Wisp Resort, and this was a fun time talking to patrollers that have a lot more experience than me. And I'll just add that this is my 50th day on snow. I'm a little older than 50, but this is my 50th day, and I didn't really realize that until Pam was telling me her 32. It starts counting them up. I'm like, day 50? It's springtime. It's snowing. We're with a whole bunch of good guys from Wisp. Hey, I'm Mark Clem, your host for Meet the Members of the National Ski Patrol all season long. Hey, keep your skis waxed up, folks. You never know. It might snow tomorrow again, too, and they'll open up here. We'll catch you down the road.
Thank you.